Hey guys, welcome to another exciting edition of Sorry No. We are a sex, life, love, relationship podcast where you write in and we do our very best to answer questions about all of the above. I'm Ray, this is Liz, we have Alyssa, John's on the end, and we are basically here to, do what any upstanding American would do. Guide you into making good decisions. You write in and we do our very best. So, let's just get right into it. How was everybody's week? Everybody's weekend was good?
No.
I like to ask that question because there's a weekend in between shows,
Yes.
so I really like to see what I'm really just asking, hey, Alyssa, what'd you do this weekend?
I went on a horrible, horrible date.
Yay! Tell us.
So met this guy on Hinge. Totally my type, tall,
Okay, I'm
tattooed.
100. What's Hinge?
Hinge is a dating app.
It's just a normal dating app,
yeah,
not Grindr
yeah.
or some weird thing. Like Grindr's for gay people, right?
Grindr's more of like a
It's
hookup
Tinder,
site, I
but
think.
it's got more personality.
Class.
Yeah.
Oh, so
class.
it's like a classy Tinder.
Yes.
Got
Yeah.
it. Check.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Thank you.
So
Yeah,
he
exactly. I need to know.
he lives in Pittsburgh, but he knows a bunch of Erie people. So I told him I'd like to go to Talbot's Tap and Table down in Mercer. Have you guys been there before? Oh,
good.
great place.
Yeah.
You have to go there.
Yeah.
You've been there before?
Shout out to
Excellent.
Talbot's.
Yes.
Sponsor us.
So also too, like in
It
my
could say Talbot's right here. It wouldn't cost you that much. $8.
So when I go to dinner, I go to places that you have to make a reservation to. That's just the type of person I am, especially if I'm going on a date. So I get there first. It's 5:40. The roads are extremely icy. I walk in and I realize that this man did not make a reservation. And it's a 2-hour wait. So not only did I drive, I'm hungry. I'm expecting to go to one of my favorite restaurants. And he's just like, oh, well, no big deal. We'll just go to this Mexican restaurant down the street. And I told him I don't like Mexican. Now, when we get to this Mexican hole in the wall, and it looked like a place that you would catch hepatitis C from. It looked very, very dirty. And I told him that I really didn't want to go in there. And he's like, well, these hole-in-the-wall places are sometimes the best food that you can find around.
Bender.
Big difference.
Bender.
No, I like high-end stuff. You don't want to eat those garbage places.
Listen, my ex was a 100% Mexican. She lived in Texas. And she's like, hey, you want to go to a Mexican place or you want to go to the dirty little Mexican place I said, I want to go to the dirty little place. It's
Now,
dirty.
when it comes to Mexican food,
Listen, there's
yes.
a picture of Jesus that the corner's pushed in, and all you have to do is just reach up and anyone could fix it. Nope, dust on it since 1985.
But that's Texas.
Oh my God,
I would
it's
trust
amazing.
Texas,
That's
though.
amazing.
No.
Yeah.
But here in like the little Franklin,
that's
Pennsylvania, I wouldn't trust their Mexican.
Oh yeah,
Valid.
100%.
So I go to sit down, and it's free margaritas, which are kind of like Applebee's pre-mixed because they don't have a liquor license. The margarita was terrible. I asked for tequila. They said no. So I ordered 2 tacos. They were terrible.
So that's not a margarita.
Yeah, what's in it?
It was
tequila?
pre-mixed, just junk.
Gotcha.
So my date, because they're like, do you want to get anything? He's like, no, I think I'm just going to sit here and eat the free chips and margs. And I wanted to just crawl under my seat and die. The bill was only $10. He attempted to kiss me as he was walking me to my Jeep. So you know me, I'm a pretty open person. I put it on Facebook. So before I even get back to Erie, this dude found me on Instagram and Facebook. Now I'm typing.
You fuck with Alyssa on a date, and she's blasting you in her Jeep, scrolling
Throwing
one hand
shoes at you.
like saying, "Wow."
She was actually doing it while she
David.
was on the
Yes.
Yeah, it's true.
She
it's
really
true.
was.
Oh, you're not ordering anything? This motherfucker. She's like,
Yeah, so Bender saw the comments.
I did.
she's got her Android
Well,
out.
So he got excited because he saw my selfie and I said, oh, I'm going on a hot date. Then he went through the comments. That was his own fault. And plus, like, I don't like adding people like my first date on my socials. That's just a little bit too stalkerish for me. I don't know you. So he called me completely flipping out saying that that's slander. And I'm like, it's not slander because I didn't tag you because you're not important enough.
Number
Like,
one, it's
And
in
it's
print.
true.
Bitch.
Yeah.
It's in print, bitch. That's libel. Like, get educated.
Yeah, he specifically said slander.
Right.
So here I am, first date. This dude's threatening to sue me for Facebook, and then he said that I was such a bitch that he would love, and true story, that he would love to take me out again and give me a second chance.
Can't blame the guy for trying. You know what I'm saying?
Johnny's like,
But this is what I truly think. Bender, I think this was on my page. Somebody made a point that I think he didn't make reservations on purpose, and this is going to sound mean. I don't think he could afford it. So I think he was looking for a very cheap option, and he found it.
That's going in my
'Cause I'm-
playbook.
Write that down. Write that down.
I don't know what you're talking about. I would never do that. That's true. I mean, then again, nah, I hate saying that shit. You know what I mean? You try and give the guy the benefit of the doubt, but it's like, come on, man. You know, it goes back to what we talked about last week. Like, you know, you either are in a place in your life where you can afford to go out to dinner or you're not. You know what I mean? And don't fake it. You know what I mean? Like,
Did he research the restaurant at all? That we know?
Yes, I sent him the link and everything.
So you're the one that proposed the restaurant.
Of
Yes.
course.
So he knew that he should make reservations.
Yeah, but he said in his defense that it said walk-ins accepted. But if you look at the
that's
menu
trashy.
and look at the price of the menu, this is definitely a restaurant that you don't walk in.
What day was this?
And yeah,
Saturday night.
Saturday
yeah,
night.
100%.
Yeah.
You make a reservation.
I made
Absolutely.
reservations to this little, by the way, shout out to Luigi's in Du Bois.
That's
I
far.
know it's crazy, right? I was there for Groundhog's Day. I went to
Oh, okay.
Punxsutawney, right? Did the whole thing, you know?
Fun time.
And Luigi's in Du Bois.
It's Dubois.
Oh, sorry, Dubois in Dubois was amazing. And I made reservations 6 days in advance, and it was still a 45-minute wait. And it just, come on, man. It was Saturday night.
That's
like,
crazy.
it just is what it is. It's that time. It is, you know, Friday and Saturday night, you're going to wait. It is
Do
what
you
it is.
make reservations?
100%.
Okay.
It takes 30 seconds. You go onto Google, you type in the restaurant, the phone number's already there, you hit
Right.
call, and then you wait for them
Easy.
to
Yeah.
answer.
Easy.
Yeah, back in the day,
It's not
motherfucker,
that
I had to
hard.
get a phone book out. And I had to be like, let me see. What's
Where
that
is it?
dirty
Oh,
little
it's a
Mexican
new
place?
restaurant.
Oh, here it is. Oh, hola, do you have a reservation? You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Most
Go to the
places
free margarita place.
use open table. And like, you don't
Yes.
even have to talk
So
to a
easy.
human.
Yeah.
The thing I'm hung up on is, you know, everybody chooches it at one point or another, but this guy is like not taking any accountability.
No.
It would be different if he'd have said, you know what, I really like you, I really screwed up, I'm so sorry, like I would have really appreciate a second chance. Like I'm sure you would be looking at it much differently if it had been like, ooh, I really just
If he was humble.
right,
Yeah.
like he did you dirty, and like he wants, you know, he basically wants to give you another chance, like
And especially threatening me with a lawsuit, like
slander,
low
yeah.
key.
Yeah.
I'm going to sue you. But
But that's going to make me
if we
spread
go
my
out
legs
again,
wide open.
If we go out again, maybe I could bring it, you know.
Yeah, you're
down
going
a
to sue me.
misdemeanor.
That now makes me hot. Like
Yeah,
now I'm
exactly.
horny.
Well, You never know. It all takes all types. You never know.
Did you end up going anywhere? I didn't hear you. Did you
Yeah,
have
there's
dinner?
a Mexican restaurant.
Okay.
Yeah, a shitty
So
Mexican
how-
Yeah, so
restaurant.
you
Wow.
ate, right?
Bender
You didn't
wasn't
eat chips
listening
and
at
guac?
all.
He had free chips and free margaritas, and I had 2 tacos. I could only eat one because it was
Hell yeah.
disgusting. The dinner bill was $10.
Wow.
Was the
Where
conversation
is
good?
this place at? $10?
No, I was
the
annoyed. I was so
conversation
annoyed.
Good.
I was so annoyed.
So again, it brings back to, you know, first month shit. You're on the first date with someone
Yes.
and he's pulling that shit. The shit's not getting any better. I mean,
Absolutely
you're in
not.
the first month and somebody's pulling some shit. It's not getting any better.
Right.
You know what I mean? It is
Right.
what it is. If you're just down on your luck or you're in between jobs or something or whatever and you want to date a girl, I would just be clear about it. Be like, listen, you're gorgeous. I'm broke. You know, I will gladly make a picnic. You know what I mean? Or some
Right.
shit. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, if you're going to be broke, you got to be creative.
yeah, be
Right.
creative, you know?
Exactly.
Like, don't go to a place and get free food and make people feel, you know. Like,
Right.
you know, you feel, they're like, oh, God, you know, like I hate going places where people don't tip.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't
Yeah.
go to restaurants with people I know don't tip because I'm gonna tip and they're not gonna tip, and then I look like
Right.
a trash
Right.
mugger.
Yeah.
All right. Well, awesome.
That actually kind of
weekend.
leads to a question that we had, though.
Sure.
Oh,
Sweet.
okay.
What's the question?
Is it normal to bring a list of questions on a first date? I met a guy online, and when I showed up, he had a printed out list of questions. He said he's awful at casual conversation, but I found this a little strange. What do you think?
If you could just fill this out and send it back to me in duplicate.
Are you on a job interview or a date?
I feel like you ask those basic questions before you go on
Right.
a date.
Well, I
Right.
mean, what if he doesn't date much? What if he isn't good at it? What if he does freeze up? You know what I mean? Like, I don't hate it. Like, I don't hate the idea.
I
if
think
you,
printing it is what bothers me.
It's better than having your phone out looking rude.
Yeah, but if you're like on your notes app and you just have them out, that's
get- yeah.
one thing. I think just printing it
you know
just
what?
seems
You know what I
excessive.
would have done? Because I'm smarter than this dude. I would have been like, hey, I want you to bring 10 questions for me.
Yeah, make it a game.
And then make it a game.
Yeah.
And then you have 10 questions and they have 10 questions.
Oh,
Write
there
that
you
down,
go.
You know,
Bender.
because then that'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Liz, what would you do? Someone comes to a date, they've got a whole list. They pull out their notes.
I'm a big believer in, you know, there's someone for everyone. and that quirky little MFer is
Some
going to
nerdy
find,
chick
like,
is
you
gonna be
know,
like,
it's
"This-
going to knock somebody's socks off.
She's gonna bring a highlighter and everything.
She didn't seem extremely put off by that. She's kind of like, is this weird? Is this normal? If it, you know, did it lead to good conversation?
true.
Did he share like his answers to those questions? Like maybe he is just like a shy guy that needs like a little bit of a segue. And you know what? Like, I'm sorry, but like nerds are like rolling the planet right now.
Listen,
so.
there's a little office chick that had made
You
her
know.
hot. She was like, "Oh my God, he even brought it." Yeah, exactly. Should have saw it. He had it numbered and alphabetical.
I'm thinking too
Color
medically
coded.
though, like if someone's on the spectrum or something like that too. My son is on the spectrum,
Yeah.
and I could see him doing something like that on a date,
Sure, why
just to
not?
help break
Just-
the
yeah.
ice and not be so nervous. So I could see it in that type of situation.
And just be honest. Just be like,
Right.
"Hey, I'm not good at this stuff. I don't date a
Right.
lot." When you say you don't date a lot to a girl, that's a good thing. You know what I mean? They're like, "Ooh, sweet." You know what I mean?
I think
It makes
overall
you
it's
feel
not a
special.
red flag. I think it's a beige flag. If anything.
Beige?
Yeah, it's a beige flag. You ever
Beige
heard
isn't-
that?
is-
Oh, come on, guys. The
Light
Gen Z
pink, maybe,
trend,
light
okay?
pink. We're
No,
old.
beige
I don't know what you're
flag.
talking
It,
about.
it's not good. It's not bad. It's
neutral. Exactly what beige
neutral.
is.
So I'll tell you what I used to do. I used to I'd go on like a first date or a second date, and then the third date. Third date, I used to like to go somewhere. Like if I really like somebody, I'd say, "Hey, let's go. You know, let's go to Salamanca. There's a casino in Salamanca. Let's go to this restaurant. It's an hour away." You know, like I would like third date. I would get a little further out, and I would have, you know, an hour-ish ride is what
Well,
I
Ray,
like
you know
to
what
do.
the third date means.
No, I'm old.
You don't?
I do. Little.
Okay. So you wait until the third date to take them somewhere far?
No, far. Yeah, like I go out the first date. Okay, so this is Ray 101.
Ray's
First date.
breakdown.
First date is coffee, quick, in and out, because you can eject. I am a piece of shit, so I eject a lot. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, this is
How
not.
long is your
I hit
coffee
the button
date?
and if it's long and great and it goes 45 minutes or an hour, awesome.
Okay.
But it also have the ability to politely
10 minutes.
excuse yourself. You can take like a 20-minute, 30-minute, like, yeah, whatever. You're not in it for too long. You're not committed. They're not committed. I mean, listen, I'm incredibly handsome, but I'm not everyone's cup of tea. Do you know
Well,
what I
of
mean? Like,
course.
it might, you know what I mean? Like, that person might want to get out in 10 minutes. You know what I mean? They're like, I'm just not feeling it. I mean, so my first date, I like to do coffee short. Second date, nice dinner somewhere. Third date, I'll like cook for them. Fourth date, third or fourth, you know, maybe third I'd take them on a long one. Fourth I'd cook for them, whatever, but interchangeably in them. But on what I'm getting to is on the drive date, I had this book. It's called The Book of Questions. It's like this big, right?
It's
And
like his paper.
it's perfect travel, and I give it to her, and I go, "Let's do it." And she
That's
looks
cute.
through the questions, and there's questions like, "Oh, if you were blah blah blah, would you do this or do this?" And I would answer the question. I'd be like, "How about you?" And then she'd say, "Okay." And then she'd ask another question. I'd say, "Okay, you're first." And then she would give. Do you know what I mean? It was all
20 questions, yeah.
yeah, but it was like thought
Every
provoking.
new couple kind of plays that game. Yeah, and that's
Interesting,
perfect.
you know, you're trying to find
That's
out what.
cute.
Yeah, of
you
course.
guys do wholesome things on your road trips?
I'm adorable.
I mean, I'm doing other things on road trips.
well, I.
Like, well,
Hey, there's time for that,
Sorry,
too.
driver.
Don't worry.
I'm really getting to know you.
Exactly. I love it. It's amazing. How are you not taken? That's what I want to know. How are you not taken?
You know, it's been 10 months for me being completely celibate. I'm starting to
perfect.
feel like a feral cat.
what do you think your biggest obstacle is?
Mine?
Yeah.
Who's asking the questions here, Better? Is this the Inquisition?
On a serious note, social media. I've had people don't like my social media interactions with other people. Because I've started, you know, you've been following me, you know, we've known each
Yeah.
other. It started with the Jeep stuff.
You're very honest.
I
online.
am.
Yeah.
It started with the Jeep stuff. The last one that I was with that completely broke my heart. He met me on Facebook and literally said, "You look like fun." But then he did not like the attention that I still was receiving on social media, even though I told him like, "Hey, this is how I get my free Jeep parts, and this is how I make a little bit of cash on the
You
side."
want to give me some free G parts?
You gotta show your dick, John.
I just sell some panties, and now you're mad. First, you're my number one buyer, and now you're pissed. I'm still selling.
I think that's my biggest obstacle. number 2, I think, especially when you have your heart broken, I don't want to get all sad and sentimental, but my red flag detector
Crying
is
is
now,
good TV.
I know, my red flag detector is now insane. Like I can detect a red flag from a mile away. And also when I'm not thinking about getting laid, for example, like that date on Saturday, the dude was hot. I could have like, if it was an old me, I would have overlooked it and been like, I'll take him back home, whatever. But now that that's like not like number 1 to me, I think that I've really gotten to hone in my senses on pieces of shit men, if that makes sense.
Yeah, higher standards.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah, absolutely.
you fuck enough where you're like, you get to the not worth it.
That's exactly it.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like when I was, I owned the bar, and I'd be like, okay, and I'm just banging them out. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? They're just like lined up and like.
Those were the good old days.
Yeah, next, just
Yeah, you
running
get to
through
a
them.
point.
But there's to a point where you're like, oh my God, this chick is not worth the fucking.
No.
The bullshit and headache that I'm gonna have. Oh my God, nope.
It
sorry.
messes with
Pussy
your
is
energy.
not
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
good.
It's just not. It's just not. And then it's just not.
No,
So,
it's not worth it.
yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, there's one thing to date for dating, and there's another thing to date to find a relation, like date for a relationship. I think that's
Right.
the big difference.
Right.
Of course.
Can you tell what people's red flags are, or just that this is a red flag?
Well, everyone's red flags are different.
But I'm saying, can Alyssa sense, like, I know, pinpoint exactly, like, I know what that,
Spidey
the
sense.
darkness
Yes,
is.
exactly.
absolutely. For like the date that I went on, even after like he cussed me out and everything, he keeps repeating to me, I'm such a good guy. I'm simple. I don't need much. I'm a great guy. I'm a great guy. And I've, in the past, if they have to tell me that they're a great guy, you're a piece of shit.
Exactly.
And you have to, you can say it once, that's fine. You think you're a great guy. I think I'm a perfect 10. Everyone just hype yourself up. But if you have to say it to me over and over again, that to me is a huge red flag.
That's
They don't
why,
even believe it.
that's why I tell them I'm a piece of shit.
Exactly. I fucking love Bender comes in with the lowest dumpster expectations. We're probably gonna have sex on trash at some point in the first 3 or 4 days.
Listen, the only way to go is up.
On Thursdays, I like to fuck outside on garbage.
In the bathtub of ice.
Exactly. Yeah. He just keeps those standards low.
It's all about
and then-
And
expectations.
this
I
is-
mean-
this is why I'm single.
Listen, I've got a decent sized wiener. It's not giant. I just watched a weird Will Ferrell movie last night where he's an Icelandic singer, and he's just going on about his wiener, about how it's not too big, it's not too small. He goes, it's kind of like a Volvo. You see it, and you're like, oh, that's nice, but it's not going to turn any heads. He's talking about his wiener. That's how I feel about my wiener. What was I going with that?
I don't know. We went off on a
You
tangent.
got all caught up in
I
it.
forget.
There was no lead into
There
it.
was
So what's the
something.
lead out of it?
So that's it. All right, thanks.
question.
Tune in
Ray's
next week.
winner.
See ya.
Next question, Bender.
Next
All right.
question.
I have 3 years worth of graphic and explicit text messages from my ex-husband who sent this all a year after our divorce. He's dating the woman he cheated on me with. Should I send these transcripts? I want to be the bigger person and leave well enough alone. It's been almost a year since his last inappropriate text, but part of me just wants to watch their world fall apart.
Liz.
3 years worth of graphic and explicit text
I
messages
mean,
from
don't
her ex-husband.
don't erase them. Keep them. Okay, there's a very delicate balance here between like revenge and moving forward.
Let's set the timeline really quick, Liz, before you finish your point. It's been 3 years of text messages.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't done it in a year, so it's been 4 years since he cheated on her with this girl. So they've been dating for 4 years. For 3 of those years, he's been sending text messages to his ex, who she broke up their relationship.
But it's been a year
Go ahead.
since.
But it's been a year since the last one. But I'm just saying, to put it in perspective, it's been 4 years, 3 of which, like,
Right.
he's
He was
been sending
cheating and
dirty,
one he hasn't.
wanting. Right. So go ahead.
Okay, I mean that does.
I'm
change
just
things
putting it in
a little bit.
perspective.
But
I'm
here's-
not saying you should change your opinion. I just wanted
No.
everyone to kind of.
that does help explain it. So, I would like to think that I'm not petty, but I really am. I'm petty, and I totally could see myself trying to blow shit up for them. But at the same time,
That's awesome.
I think that there's something to be said for non-reaction. And like I said, I wouldn't get rid of them, but I also wouldn't engage. I would really try to like heal and move forward. And, it's going to get him. I mean, you don't get to act that way indefinitely without it biting you in the ass. And so it's going to, whether she does that or whether she does not do that, he's going to get his. And, you know, it might feel good in the moment to be the person that like sticks it to him and watch them blow up. Like that would probably be very gratifying in the short term, but
it's been a year though. I mean, that's the only thing as the other or the current girlfriend that I would look at her and be like, why are you bringing this to me after a year?
Yeah. Why didn't you bring it to me when it first started
Right.
happening?
Well, here's the other thing. It's been a year, and he's just doing it to someone else. He's not. He's like, oh, I
we
changed
know
my
that?
way, and I go to church. We know that.
Do we know that?
We know that.
I feel like
know
we can be
that.
pretty confident about that.
Yeah.
We know
It's
that.
someone else, yeah.
So here's what I would do.
Play the long game.
Absolutely, that's my goal. That's
Play,
what I
play
do.
the what game?
I already
Long
knew what
game.
your answer
Yeah.
was. Play the long
So
game.
here's the deal. When he cheats on her and gets caught, because he's going to, 'cause
Right.
I just think it's just a matter of time, right? He's going to, then you can say, oh, you didn't know? Here's 3 years of shit he was sending me. And then think about, it'd be devastating even more. So it'd be like, I would do that.
Save it
because
for when it really
she's
is gonna hurt.
already down. I would just
Here's
like
my
run up
question.
and do the big
Is
kick.
Now she has 3 years of all of these things, so obviously she was reciprocating the entire thing. So is it going to?
Good point.
If it's 3 years, she's reciprocating.
That's a great
If it was
point.
a year or less, no. But
Maybe.
if it's 3 years, she was
I mean,
100%
that's kinda
reciprocating.
valid.
That's
It's kinda valid.
that's
So
a great
who is
point.
who is the girlfriend getting pissed at? Is it obviously the husband, but is it also her?
Yeah. And who
So-
is she to you? Is she just some stranger? You know what I mean? Like,
Or is it someone that he left her for? He left his marriage for.
That's
He
what it
did,
sounded
yeah.
That's a
like.
big
Yeah.
question. Yeah.
Yeah.
he's trash. Move on, heal. Don't
Yeah,
worry
there's
about like
nothing good that's
you're
going
not
to come
gonna
out of this.
gain anything.
Keep
out
knowledge
of
is power. So in
Yeah.
case if you have leverage,
You're
in
giving
case
that up.
yeah, exactly. You're giving it up by just giving it to her. So if he
Right.
does something to you a few years down the line, or
Right.
he tries to come back to her, then you send it over. I think.
I wouldn't
That's
touch
true.
it.
That's true.
Yeah.
that is
Keep it in the archives though.
that is valid. Yeah.
Keep
it
Don't
in
get
the
rid of it.
pocket.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, really? You want double the child support? Guess what? bitch?
I was honestly thinking that way. I don't want to say it though, but there's just some things you got to
Yeah.
keep in your back
Sure.
pocket. And you got to
Why
play a
not?
little dirty when it
Leverage
comes
is
to that
power.
stuff. Yeah,
I mean, he's trying to fuck you over. You can fuck him over.
absolutely.
Yeah. So yeah, fuck him over.
All
Just
right,
not
next
now.
question.
So the next question isn't so much a question. I want to ask you guys: have you heard of the "Are We Dating the Same Person" website?
Not the website.
The Facebook groups.
Look at the 100-year-old
There's-
people
Yeah.
going, no.
No.
I don't
And,
even know what
this
these two
is.
over here going,
I haven't
yeah,
heard about this.
what?
because of this because of this page. That's why I got the PFA against my one ex-boyfriend, the one in Pittsburgh. So I'll say what led up to the PFA for a different show, but after this very strange weekend where he tried to bring in a third into our bedroom and then said it was our girlfriend, but I'll say that for a different story. I just realized he was way too weird, had these crazy
Disgusting.
fetishes. No, he did it without my permission or knowledge. So I was minding my own business on Facebook, and I see in this page, "Are we dating the same guy, Pittsburgh?" I'm just minding my own business, scrolling along, and I see.
I'm just doing some
Just- I'm
investigating.
I'm looking for this
reporting my
motherfucker.
guy. Exactly.
I'm looking for this piece of shit.
Have you ever heard of more bad? I was just scrolling along, minding my own business,
Staying in my lane.
checking out the website for my cheating boyfriend. Go
And I
ahead.
see a picture that he cropped me out of it. It was our New Year's Eve photo.
Those are my nails.
And no.
Have your arms
Yeah,
around
you
him, like-
can see part of my dress
Of
in
course.
there. And I seen that he was sleeping with 5 different women unprotected, which I also put in my complaint because, with me having cancer and shit, like I take that very seriously. And I was talking to these different females, the stories that I got, unbelievable. So that I found out that he also had my face on FetLife, Field, like these weird sex fetish websites where he was promising these women threesomes.
with
I
you.
wasn't showing up, obviously, and he's just fucking them.
Actually, Alyssa, after this, can I get a photo with you?
Yeah. Yes.
She'll be here any minute. Let's just start things off. She said she's running late.
She's on the way.
Exactly. Wow, I can't believe it. She's never late.
So with these sites, though, that did it save my life? Absolutely. But I do see a lot of women on there that are scorned. So I belong to Detroit page, Cleveland page, like Chicago page, Pittsburgh, Cleveland, and Buffalo. I think a lot of these women are just scorned. There are some really good, sex offenders or people who abuse children, people who've been to jail. But I would say you really have to filter through and use your good judgment who actually is dangerous and who is just a scorned woman.
I don't get it. So you
what is
go on
this?
there. What is it? You go on there.
So
and you
say like you and I were dating, and
Right.
then I take a picture of you and I post it on there.
I say I'm dating him right now. Anyone else dating him?
You can do that, or you can
Okay.
say that this guy's a piece of shit, red flags, and then you can post like what my issues were with you.
Lots of scorned. Yeah.
People
I can see
warning
that.
like stay away from this guy, or so you really have to just really use your judgment, because there's also been ones on there where women have just blasted guys because they have a small dick or they're bad in bed, which I think that's wrong. That's honestly that's wrong.
Yeah.
Well, or it's just you're
It's
mad at this person.
above
you're
average,
You're
I said.
slashing this
Yes.
person, even though they might
Right.
be a great person.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that is the deal.
Are we dating
Yeah.
the same?
Yeah.
Huh.
So you go on this.
Yeah, so there's actually a national site that you probably pay for where you put your name in and her name in. And
Oh.
You can get their. According to this, it says.
Let's put Alyssa in there.
Yeah, put my name in there.
Yeah.
I know it's.
I'll take it off screen so
No,
nobody
no,
can
no!
see it.
What are you doing,
I want
Bender?
to see it.
Come on, motherfucker!
Do we want people to know her last name?
Yeah,
I'll type her
no.
name
She's
in.
giving me
okay.
the thumbs up.
Yeah.
Last name's okay. Yeah.
Do you already know there's some bullshit on
Is
there?
there?
Oh God, yeah. Oh, of course.
She put it all on there.
Put my name on there, Matt.
So while he's doing this, Pew Research showing that among young adults, 34% of women identify as single.
Hey,
and
that's on there, Bender.
63% of men.
Say
So
that
that's
again.
funny.
So 34% of women say they're single. 63% of men say they're single. So of
And
the same
80% of
age.
the 63 are married.
Math.
Well,
Math is
what,
good.
well, what it is most women are dating
Multiple
Multiple
people. Yeah.
or most men are dating multiple people.
Yeah.
That
Because
makes sense.
You have to think there's
Yeah.
a lot of guys out there not dating at all. Then there's a lot of guys with tall tattoos, whatever, that are just.
Alyssa, what are you,
running through
47?
those.
Fuck you. I'm 38.
Yeah, fuck you, motherfucker. That's how old I am. Don't make it a joke. So that's interesting, Matt. Like, so most men are dating more than one woman, but I mean, you
No,
see,
it's not most men. There's a
Small
very
percentage.
small percentage because of dating apps.
Well, I'll tell you, this site's
Because
bullshit
women
because
go
you're not
on
coming up.
dating apps and
Good.
just swipe through, and they're like, no. Oh, he's 6 foot. He's got muscles. I'm gonna go out with him, and that guy will sleep with a girl. He may be, let's say, he's a 8 on.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
he's an 8, right?
He's an 8. He'll sleep with a 2. He doesn't care. A 3, a 4.
Mm-hmm.
Now a 3 or 4 girl is looking for a guy that is an 8.
Mm-hmm.
I had him. I can have anybody
Yeah.
that's my level now. I'm an 8 when you're a 4.
So
you know?
women are hypergamous, which means women. Do you know what hypergamous means?
I don't.
Oh, do you know what hypergamous means?
Do you tell?
Hypergamous means that women sleep with men who are on their level or above. So you're looking for someone on your level, and when I say on your level, I mean status,
Looks,
Socially,
personality.
socially,
Emotionally,
emotionally. It's like
career.
all on your level, right? And they look for people who are their level or above.
And
Hypergamy.
men will sleep with
Yeah.
anybody
Like
below them.
Yeah, and men will sleep with women below. That's they
Just
don't
take
care
what they
about
can
that.
get.
I
Take
think
what
men
they
will
get.
sleep with anybody.
That's
Absolutely.
the problem with women.
I mean, some men have standards.
Yeah, you're right.
I've had my fair share of declines.
I put in some charity work too.
Bender,
so
can
I
we
get
edit
it.
this? Are we able to edit this, Bender?
Yeah.
So I will say that is true in the fact that I always tell people, and girls especially when we're having this conversation, I say, if I walk out that door and I say, who wants to fuck me? There's nobody raising their hand. I don't care if you look like fucking, like Tom
Brad
Cruise, Brad Pitt. No one's fucking you because the girls, even if they find you attractive, they're like, what's
That's
with this
gross.
weirdo?
Yeah.
Gross. Alyssa walks out this door and says, who wants a fuck? You have 8
Line up.
or 10 people,
Oh, God.
you know, kind of
Yeah.
trying to push their way to the front. And that's just the way it is. You know, men and women are different. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care about all the, you know, men and
There was
women
a
are the
bunch
same.
of
It's
tests. There was a
bullshit.
big debate a few years ago on social media where it was like, who's hornier, men or women? And a lot of people were like, women are actually hornier, but they have standards. They don't just fuck every living thing.
Exactly. Yeah, they don't.
We can get
yeah.
laid anytime we want.
Exactly.
You guys are just
yeah.
jealous.
Yeah.
Facts.
Of course we are.
Of course. That brings us into the AI news sex doll bullshit, like I really think we're gonna have a problem. Like right now, if you look at the populations of all the countries, like North Korea, they're fucked. China, they're fucked. They don't have
how in what way?
So they're
Declining
not, Yeah, their
population?
population's declining. They don't have enough people. Like they don't have enough nurses and doctors coming up to take care of all of the people that are older, and everyone's having less and less kids. So it's just the way it is. Everyone's having less kids in every country. Now America's different because you can open the borders to America and we can get more people in. We can get more young people into America to do the things and get those bottom line things done. But you can't do that in North Korea. You can't do it in South Korea. You can't do it in China. Like all those places are having very serious population problems that is going to be coming up in the next like 10 years. So that being said, when we start putting in like artificial intelligent sex robots, it's over. The human population will probably be in big trouble.
Did you see that Netflix movie? And I can't remember what it's called. It starred Megan Fox, and she was an AI doll.
Megan?
Yes.
Yeah.
Was
Yes.
that Megan Fox?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was called Megan. I don't think it was Megan
It
Fox.
was called Megan,
No.
but it was Megan Fox.
Really?
Yeah.
And she's
She's
an
a little
AI
girl?
doll.
She's an AI
No.
doll, yeah, and like it's a whole like family, a husband, wife, and kids.
Yeah, and she's like the nanny, and ends up fucking the dude and
Yeah.
falling in love with him and trying to kill the wife.
What's that?
Megan's the little girl doll that's
Oh,
friends
that's
with her
right.
little
I can't remember
Yeah.
what it was called.
Yeah, it's a
but
horror movie.
It's a horror movie. She starts protecting the little girl.
It was
Oh,
called
yeah.
it was called Subservience.
Yep,
Yep, that's it.
Oh no, so it's a different one. I was thinking Megan. Megan's a little
the
AI doll
Yeah.
that you buy for your daughter, and then
But
it
that could
protects her
happen
and-
too. Like
yeah.
I think you're
Oh,
right about
fuck
the
yeah,
AI.
it's
I
just
think
coming.
human connection is gonna be gone,
gonna
and
be
I think
gone.
we're gonna really forget how to interact with each other.
I see.
Yeah.
You hit the nail on the head. We talked about this seasons ago, where online dating has ruined like meeting people face to face.
100%.
Because you even said you're like, all you have to do is just swipe left or swipe right. You can come over to Netflix and chill. When before, back in the day, we were at Sugar Ray's
You
getting
had
it
to
on,
go to
like
the bar.
hanging out,
You had to go to
and
the
having
bar.
a great
I'd
time.
be
The good old
broke right
days.
now. I'd have no money if I had a bar.
Like our Friday, Saturday nights, actually I would say every night of the week at downtown Erie when it was thriving was, we'd go to Cell Block, Sugar Ray's. I actually would make that stumble, calamari, stumble all the way up and down State Street.
Yeah.
Great time.
Thursday night you go to
But
Sullivan's
now
because
you
it was
can't-
kind of
Yeah.
just chill and
Quarter
Calamari's
drafts.
I
had
go
like
out to the bar now, and I've got friends that are going out, and like if you go and approach a girl and hit on her, it's like disgusting. It's like, why are you talking to me? I don't know you. That's not how it's
No.
supposed to be.
Yeah, right. yeah.
Right.
And I think that's why bars have really declined because there's
Less and
nobody
less
has a
people.
desire for
I'm
human
just
interaction
saying,
anymore.
once you put sex dolls in there, it's over.
Yeah.
What's the movie Bender? Ex Machina? Is it
Yeah.
Ex Machina?
Yeah.
This dude, super brilliant guy. He brings this dude in to test his AI to see if it's called the Turing test. What's the test?
Turing test.
Turing test. So a Turing
He
test.
invented the computer.
Yeah. So the Turing test is, can a human interact with an AI and not realize that it's an AI, right? So they bring this young kid in. It's an interesting movie, but this dude's got like these super hot Asian AIs walking around, and he's just banging them constantly. Like there's no need. Like they're cleaning the house, they're doing everything. They're like his slaves, and they're just computer AI robots. When that shit happens, it's over. The human race, you're gonna be like.
I'd be
paid
fine
to
with an
exist.
AI boyfriend.
Why not?
Yeah.
It does. It's mowing the lawn
Yeah.
while you're at work. Absolutely.
Cooks me dinner, builds shit at the house.
I
Like,
mean,
yeah.
I'm completely happy, and my wife is perfect, and I would never trade her for an AI.
I can't wait.
But I'm sure someone out there would.
However,
Not me. Exactly.
I'm already saving up.
Bender, you want to go halvesies on one?
1/3 of his paycheck. Yeah, exactly.
We'll share custody of the sex doll.
Exactly. Just make sure it's got detachable parts.
Exactly.
I get the top part, you get the bottom part.
Exactly.
dishwasher safe.
That's, oh my God.
Dishwasher.
It's gotta be. But the whole thing. You just go through Delta Sonic with it strapped on your car. Just go
Bender,
through.
you
Be like,
got
hey,
him from 6 to 8, then it
don't
goes in the
forget-
dishwasher. I got him from 9 to 11.
Exactly. Don't forget the taint. Get in there with those power sprayers. Yeah.
Oh, I hate that word, taint. Oh.
I know. That's why I sneak it in when I can. All right, Bender, we got one more question.
Sure. I think I'm in love with my best female friend and have no idea how to approach it or if I should ignore my feelings. We have known each other for a while, and I've always thought she is the most amazing woman in the world. We both have been single at the same time, but she never hinted that she was into me. In fact, she always tells me what a good friend I am. She is currently in a relationship, but I do not think it will last, or maybe I hope that it won't. My question is, do I wait until she is single and tell her how I feel, or for the sake of our friendship, which I do not want to lose, just keep my feelings to myself?
Johnny.
Don't tell her at all. I think when she's single, that's fine. But confessing your love to someone while they're in a relationship, that's never a good idea. It puts them in a very awkward situation, even if they do like you.
You'll never get that dude.
You'll never get the
girl.
answer that you want if they're in another relationship.
And it's going to be a respect thing. They're going to go out. They're going to find it disrespectful,
It's only worked out once,
Out of
and
the
that
gate.
was my life.
Yeah.
I was with my fiance now. We broke up right after high school for a few months, and she was going out with this guy, and I texted her, and I came over to her dorm room, and the guy was there, and I was like, hey, I really want to get back together, all this kind of stuff. I'm drunk, right? Whatever.
There we go. I was like,
the vodka's hitting me. I've had a few
I'm
too
serious,
many.
this is not advice, people.
She ended up
this
sending.
is a story.
She ended up sending the guy home, and he lived an hour and a half away.
Wow.
She ended up sending the guy
For
home.
you?
For me.
That's adorable.
But
Aw.
normally,
Hey,
I would
little-
not advise.
You
it.
guys,
I would not
you guys
advise it.
weren't. You were actually dating beforehand. You weren't just friends, though.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. That's why I'm saying it's a
Yeah.
different story. We were dating, we
That's
had
cute.
2.5 years of a past, and so yeah, I would not advise that.
You
under
find
any
that cute. I
circumstance.
find it disturbing. What a bitch. Oh, wait. That's your girl now.
Well,
Never
no,
mind.
that's-
What's her name?
Wait a minute, Kylie.
Kylie. Never. I didn't mean that.
That she sent the other guy home.
She sent the other
I
dude
think that's
home.
sweet.
That's so shitty.
That's so sweet.
That's so shitty.
But she loves him.
That's
So
a gesture.
yeah.
That's a grand gesture.
No, you're saying he's saying for the other
that
guy
guy.
who had to
I
go
don't
home.
care.
Listen,
Oh, yeah,
that's
shitty for
great.
him.
That's
The guy's
great.
from Jamestown.
Just be
It
like,
wasn't
oh
like
yeah,
he was-
cool, and then you just kind of hang out for the rest of the night. Don't fuck or anything. Just kind of be cool,
No.
and then just be like, okay, all right, well, hey, I'm tired. You're gonna go home? Okay, cool, and then break it off the next day. Don't oh
No.
yeah, I'm gonna do him now. Peace.
But that's
fine
wasting
with
your
me.
time. She wants to be with him.
And his.
To me, but that's a grand gesture. He's coming over here to tell me,
Basically, confessing my love for her.
that
if you
takes
wanna
some
say
balls.
That.
That takes some
It does.
balls.
He was
So-
hammered.
How long were they dating?
Her and the
We
other
were
guy.
together.
No, her and the other guy.
her and the other guy,
Short
new.
term.
Yeah, this was a few weeks. Yeah.
He learned a
Yeah.
valuable
Yeah.
lesson.
Yeah,
It's fine.
yeah. He hates
She did
women
the right
now.
thing.
Yeah.
He hates women now.
Yep.
So, what
Sorry.
do you think about the question? Not John's question.
Oh,
Bender, repeat the question.
Just
sorry.
the ending.
I
Oh.
think I'm in love with my best friend.
Yeah. Love is his best friend.
Yeah, I think that here's the thing. When she's single, I think you should absolutely put yourself out there. Because here's the thing. When you find somebody, when you find your person, you're not going to be able to maintain that friendship. You're not going to be able to be friends with that person at the level that you are right now. And maybe she's feeling the same way as you, and she's waiting for you to make the move and bring the conversation up. So I think that that's worth the risk after she is not dating this
Really,
person
you got a
anymore.
sour.
Horrible
look.
advice.
You shouldn't.
Wait.
You shouldn't be friends with girls at all.
Okay, hold on. Wait on that. Wait on that. We got a couple things to unpack.
I mean, just disclaimer, I am the oldest person on this panel,
Yeah,
and that is maybe old fart advice, but
Alyssa.
Oh boy.
I mean, I agree with some of what you said.
Well, we don't have to agree on everything. It's,
I know.
it's good.
No,
That's
I'm
why we're all
gonna
here.
tell you what
So,
I agree
wait,
with. I'm gonna tell you. Hold on. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna agree with because I agree with what she says. Alyssa, hold your thought. I'm
No,
sorry.
no, no, no. Go ahead.
I agree with what she said, but if you're going to do that, you have to have a solid game plan. You can't just confess your love to this girl. You have to take multiple steps, and you have there's
To woo
lot.
her.
There's a lot of stuff in play that you should do before you just go confessing your love to someone when you're in the friend zone.
Now, all of us do agree that he should wait until she's single, though,
100%.
correct?
Yes.
100%.
Okay, across the
All right,
board, just to
yep.
clarify.
Yes.
Clarify it. Go ahead.
Alyssa.
I actually ran into this situation this week.
Ooh, this week?
Yes.
She's got
If you read my text
Another
messages,
guy.
You had such a week. Oh my God, you're weak.
God damn it, Bender.
reading. He's gonna read Bender's text messages to her out loud.
I was.
So-
Yeah.
There
I
is-
was drunk.
there's a friend of mine who is he's gorgeous. So when I was single, we started hanging out, but he got too drunk. I'm going to leave a lot of it out just out of respect for him because I love him to death. But we were at the bar. He actually came out with me Saturday night after my horrible date. And we were at the bar. He met one of my best friends. And he told my best friend, I've been trying to holler at your girl for a year, but she keeps turning me down. And I'm looking at him like, what? Because we get together and we talk about our shitty dates and shitty dating life and everything. So it was very like smooth how he snuck that in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's good.
So I'm with you on like, if you're going to confess your love, you do need a game plan. And you also need to be ready for a rejection because it could go wrong.
Yeah.
But I don't keep my feelings in. I say what's on my mind. So if I'm in love with my best friend, I'm going to let my best friend know.
100%.
Of course you are, because women have no issue with that. Like you two just said, you were like, if she wants to know if she's bottled up. No, if she wants to fuck that dude, she's gonna say it. Like it's easy for you. You know he'll say yes. Yeah, I mean, like you're
Not always.
I'm just
But
saying.
9 times out of 10, I'll agree with you.
I
there.
will say that a guy would be way more concerned about getting shut down than you saying to your best friend, "Hey, I kind of like you." I mean, that dude's he's at least gonna bang you out of the. I mean, he's a man. He's a guy.
You know what? I kind of do have to agree with you on that. If he's gonna confess his love and all of that, you're not just gonna. It's not like a rom-com where you just go and she's gonna say yes and everything's gonna be happily ever after. No, if you're gonna do it, you have to take the steps and actually like want her or get her to want you.
There you go. So
That's the thing.
So, I would recommend a few series of things. Number one, okay, so I'm a fatty. I was a fatty my whole life. So I had to convince girls to want to go out with me. You know what I mean? Like, I had to. It just is what it is. When you're a big guy, girls don't automatically go, oh, I want to date him. You have to, like, play the game. And you have to play it good or you're never going to get laid. So, you in the same thing as being in the friend zone, you have to, like, lay the foundation. You have to do things like distance yourself from her, right? That makes her want to see
you.
Right?
Yep.
That makes her want to see you. You have to, I would recommend doing things, saying things like, oh, yeah, but, you're not my type to your best friend. Because they're not going to take it as an insult because you're their
but
best
if they
friend.
do like you, that's going to deter them.
If there
and then
is
maybe they'll
any
let it
kind
go.
of whatever, they're like, what? What do you mean? You wouldn't date me? You know what I mean? Because it is a game. You're playing a game. I hate when people say, "Oh, you're playing a game."
Of course.
It is a game.
Wish I was drinking this month. I really do.
That's good. Thank you.
I
another
get it.
answer, too.
I think I'm
Go
just.
ahead.
I think I'm just at the point where I have so many single friends, and I am not an ideal person to give dating advice because I've been married to the same person for like 30 plus years and dated that person for 5 before that. So, I'm not like in practice. And I do see like it's real easy to sit here and say like just be honest, like just put it out there. But it is a dance. It is a game. And it seems like there are very specific roles that men and women, like to be successful at this game, have to play.
I have a question for you,
And
though.
they all have different rules.
Sure.
Your friends, like with your age group, I'm noticing as I'm getting older too, I think women are okay with being single, though.
Yes.
I'm very comfortable with
Yes.
it right now, and I love it.
Because you're more comfortable with yourself.
I used to be so
Before-
hell-bent. I used to be
Yeah.
hell-bent on finding a man.
Yeah.
Now I don't give a single fuck if I do or don't.
Because the more comfortable you come with yourself and being alone, and the fact that you don't need a man, you know what I mean? You're comfortable just chilling. You don't need to be at every party.
But
You don't need
guys
to be at
need
everything.
women.
The bullshit-o-meter,
A lot
get
of
older,
guys.
as you get older, there is like less and less shit you are
Yes.
willing to tolerate. And it's just like, and it's to the point
Yeah,
where,
you're like, it's not worth it.
yeah.
I have my own house. I have my own vehicle.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm doing just fine. I have a great career. Like,
Yeah, I want
you have to be
in
pretty
my
special
life.
to come in and fuck that
Exactly.
up.
I've never heard a
Exactly.
guy say, I'm happy being single.
Well,
That's-
you never hear a
that's what
girl
I'm
say
saying.
she's happy being single. She's fine. She's content. I'm okay being single.
Until
No, on the other side of it is, I'm okay being single because I haven't found someone worth I'm okay being single until you find someone who's worth not being single for. Whereas when you're younger, you're like, I would be happy if I had someone in my life. And let me tell you, I've had enough girls in my life where it's like, they don't bring happiness. Just like money doesn't bring happiness.
Short term.
You know what I mean? Like, it is. It's all short term. It's
Yeah.
all dopamine.
That
It's
is
all,
part
you
of the
know,
problem.
just playing the game. What's
Yep.
that?
Well, women have their own house, their own car. Like, throughout time, women kind of tolerated guys because guys took care of them.
Mhm.
And that was kind of the balance.
Mm-hmm.
And now the
It's-
revolution.
Well, now it's,
Of-
it's out of balance where, you're like, he was an ass today. And nowadays they go, you know what? Fuck this guy, I'm out.
Yeah.
Where they go, he was an ass today, but, honestly, looking through,
He takes care of
he
me.
takes care of me. He could be a drunkard. He's not. He fucked up this one time, whatever. There's no forgiveness anymore because they don't need to forgive. And that's why they're single. And they're never going to find that Prince Charming because he does not exist. Everybody has their flaws. And you absolutely are not perfect. And these women are out there thinking, oh, I'm perfect. Or I'm just looking for this
Ray's
normal guy
basically
who's
Prince
6
Charming.
foot, who makes 6 figures, who has a nice car, who is funny but not too funny, who's strong-willed, but he lets me be independent and lets me do what I want to do, but make sure that he lets me know where his boundary. You know what I mean? Men are hopping from one foot to the other, where that's the problem. Is guys nowadays are like, forget this. I'm gonna play some Nintendo. I'm gonna watch some.
I'm gonna
porn,
get my sex
and
robot
that's it.
doll.
And I'm gonna get my sex
So,
robot doll.
Here's
It's
the
not
deal.
worth
Like
it.
I was watching something and they were like, "Oh yeah, you're on some guy's boat, and you and your friends go out on this guy's boat." And it's like they're like, "Yeah," and he goes, "Well, what did you do?" And they're like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Well, what did you do?" He goes, "Oh, I was there." And they're like, "Yeah, that guy bought the boat, paid insurance, got the trailer." Pays for it to be in the fucking water,
Has a
does all
job,
this
he
shit,
makes enough
has to
money.
spend all this money to fucking get the
$100
boat,
just to get it
and
out on the water
Yeah,
and
exactly.
gas.
And you showed
just
up.
show up.
You're
Yep.
just like, oh, let's go out on the boat. Alyssa's like, yeah, that's how it fucking
She
works.
took her top
I'm
off
pretty,
and she laid out in the
I'm
sun.
pretty, and I wear my bikini, and guys invite me on the boat. Well, yeah, that's true, but the other side of the coin is that shit takes a lot to get there. You have put in the work. You have a house. You have a car. You have all those things. You've done the work. You don't need a man. You know what I mean? So getting back to that point is that
Well, the problem with that too is don't need a man, but
you want a man.
But
you want a guy. But are you gonna date a guy that's a barista?
No, her standards get
Starbucks.
raised when she has
Yeah,
less
but
that she needs.
Because
Who
that
ha-
is the
who-
deal. Like
who
now, like,
bicycles to work. You know what I mean?
At
Who's
the
content
age of
with-
where I'm at in my life right now, no.
Who's-
I like to travel.
But he's nice and sweet.
That's
and
great.
Nothing
really
against
cares.
baristas.
He can be
but-
nice and sweet
Yeah,
for someone
well,
else.
yeah, but
I
that
understand,
dude,
but
listen.
now you're cutting away all these guys because he's got to make more money.
That's
He's
fine.
gotta have a house.
Yeah, I know, but what
I
Matt's
know, but-
saying is your percentage of finding a guy goes down.
That's fine with
when
me.
you do- I know it is fine with you,
It's
but
fine for
we're
you
just
now.
telling that is the way. Someday, when you're not as pretty and you have 10 cats,
Black
right.
don't crack.
And you
Hold
have
on.
10
Black don't crack. I
when
don't
you
want to
have
hear it.
10
I'm always
cats,
going to look like
you're
this.
like, fuck,
I
I
agree.
should have had that
Everybody-
barista
there's gonna
because
be a
he
point.
ate my pussy so good, and now I've got 10 cats.
I mean, that does count for a lot.
There is
I'm
a-
saying
That
I'm
does
saying
count for a lot.
that boy.
Just saying, if
Exactly.
Yeah.
if the sex is
There's a
good.
But I-
point where you,
So
That does-
That's like
you kinda drop
60%.
because of your-
I'm
You know,
okay with that, though.
I totally get where Alyssa's at. I totally get that when you have your own house and your own stuff, you had to work hard to get there.
Mm-hmm.
Working hard to get there gets you to be, you're going to work hard in a relationship. There's a lot to that. That's not, you're not being crazy. You're not being,
No.
You're not being like, oh, she's
That
this
is
or
the
she's
first
that.
time she's ever heard that.
Yeah, but she's not being crazy because there's a lot of truth to the fact that if someone has a good job, they stuck it out, they showed up sick, they did all the things they had to do to get there, they did everything they had to do and put in the time and effort to get that job and to be successful. Hopefully that will translate to a relationship, and that one person will put that energy towards your relationship, and hopefully you'll live happily ever after. All Matt's saying is that percentage of people that are willing to do that and do that is very low. And that barista who eats pussy like a king, he might make you happy for the rest of your
Well,
life.
here's the other thing, too.
Liz wants to know who this barista
Wait,
is.
I would like to. Yeah. Wait.
When she
Starbucks.
gets her coffee tomorrow
Yeah.
morning,
Well,
she's
I
gonna
would-
be like,
That's
you
it,
put a
yeah.
little heart after Liz.
I would like
I
to
bet
address
that
some of
boy
those
eats
comments
pussy.
because I think you're making some very good points about how the pendulum has swung to like some man hate. And I think that social media, at least observationally, I can see that people have a harder time making connection by not really getting to know people in person like you used to do to date.
Yeah,
like
sure.
you had to talk on the phone and then you had to literally call a house where the parent picked up the phone and
Yes.
asked to talk to the dog. I mean,
Yes.
my dad was the worst. I mean, I'm digressing, but I guess my point is that I think that
Maybe not. He
Matt's
like
right.
picked all those losers to the side for you.
yeah, he was the ultimate screener.
Exactly.
But the thing is, you want somebody in your life that adds to your life. Like you don't want a project to fix. You don't want somebody coming at you.
But when you're younger, you think
With
that
their-
that's what you want.
I mean, I see what you're saying and doing, and I
like all
agree.
the girls that are like,
However,
oh, I can fix him.
yes,
That is adding to your life, Liz.
it is. I know, but
you
there's
eating
other
it?
drama. There's other drama that comes along with all that good
You
good
can
loving.
blur that out.
You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of things that men do that are really fucking stupid that like
yes.
ruin it for other men. And then there are men that may be a barista and be like very emotionally intelligent and be very like working to get to like the next level and willing to compromise and be accountable and just be like a good partner. And so I don't know. I just think it's just very
Well,
subjective.
The other problem is Alyssa's probably looking for somebody her age, 38, who's got a good job making $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 a year with his own house.
Guess who they're looking for?
That guy's looking for a 25-year-old.
Not true.
No, he's looking for a 25-year-old who works at like Wendy's or somewhere, a diner, because he doesn't want to.
Because you're hypergamous. And what's the opposite of
Well,
hypergamous?
but first
Bender?
off,
Hold on.
Well, he wants somebody that's gonna. He wants somebody that's
You,
gonna be there
he's
for
using
him.
old numbers. Like she doesn't make $40,000 a year. Let's calm down. Like, but don't be flexing out here. Like, we get it.
I'm not flexing, but I'm
Yeah,
just saying, like,
yeah.
even at 60,000, I'm just not. I'm not. I know that sounds a little pretentious, but I've busted my ass to get to where I'm at. I like to travel, and if somebody wants a 25-year-old that they can easily manipulate, that's fine. Go ahead.
Where do you
But-
get them?
So
What's that?
Where do you get them?
What, the
Where are they
25?
at?
I don't know. Ask.
So
he-
the
I guess the
bottom-
diner.
Wendy's-
the
or-
bottom
Wendy's?
line is the bottom line
Wendy's
is
in a diner.
Right.
what is that, hypogamy? So hypogamy, right? So men are hypogamous. They don't want someone on their level, right? Because
That
they're
is
They're
true.
trying to
they're
dazzle.
trying to
Yeah.
dazzle that girl.
Arm candy.
That girl who's 25, brand new, off the lot, showroom condition,
Showroom
ready, convertible Corvette
When you
is
have the day off, says,
super
I'll hang out
stoked
with you.
that you took her to free margaritas. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's the deal. So that's where we have this hard thing that's going on right now. Like Liz is right, the pendulum has swung, but we are in the time where 40-year-old men want to date 25-year-old women or 30-year-old women. They are they date below their standards. Alyssa's above their standards. It takes a very strong man to date out of his standards because you make more money than him. You are the breadwinner. You can say fuck you to his face and he's nothing he can do about it because you make the fucking mortgage payment.
But with 20-year-olds, like, you know, with this point saying that they want a 20, like someone in their 20s.
20, 30, just younger.
Well, so my
Arm candy.
my ex-boyfriend is 45, and he actually would cry to me about this, that he actually went for the younger types of 20-year-olds, and he would just say they just wanted to use me for a good time, and that was it. So even though he was interested in dating them, they were just looking to have sex hookup, and that was it. So I think kind of the
a lot
mindset
of, people in
of the
20s,
20-year-olds
that's why.
aren't looking to settle down, and
Yeah.
that would legit like hurt his feelings.
And that, I mean, listen, I've dated some women, and I've dated some stunner younger women than me, and I
Yes,
just
you
wanted
have.
to shoot myself in the face. They're blah, blah, blahing about what the fuck ever, and I'm sitting there going, I used to have a friend, and I'd sit here, and this girl that I'm thinking of would sit here, and then she would sit there, and she's my age, and this girl would like blah 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 about shit she has no idea about, like talking out her ass because she's 20. No offense, John, but anyone, I mean, just talking out her ass about mindless fucking bullshit.
Right.
And my friend across from her would be like this. You'd see her sitting there, she'd go. Like behind the girl's face, because there is no substance to it. That person isn't going to find a relationship for someone who's in their 20s.
Yeah.
He's just banging her and putting him on his arm. And I'll tell you what, I've done it, but I swept him quick because it's not what I'm looking for. But I was looking for a relationship. So there is going to be those guys who are, your age, looking for a relationship. But the percentages, it's all the percentage game. The number of guys that are making the amount of money you want, are attractive to you, you're attractive to them, and they're interested in settling down is like a very small
And willing
percentage.
to put up with you.
Oh, shit.
And that
Oh,
was-
my God,
I'm not saying that
percentage.
about you, but willing to put up with somebody that has their own stuff going on.
Everybody has their own stuff, and
I
there are
know,
people
but
that are worth
somebody-
Of course.
committing
Some-
to.
yes,
Of course.
yeah.
Even
And
if
riding
a
that stuff
guy's
out.
38
Of course.
would want to date a 35-year-old that, maybe doesn't have kids, doesn't have, a really extensive job, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They just want somebody that's available.
Yeah.
And
Okay. So really quickly, just to touch back on the point that we were on. We were talking about, number one, you should not ask that person if
Not while they're
confront
dating.
that person while they're dating. You should wait till it's over. There's also one thing that I would like that I've used before is you have this girl who you're in the friend zone with. You've done kind of the work. You're not really sure whether she's picking up or putting down, and you're like, I'm not sure if she really wants to do this. Here's the trick I like to use.
Pull it out.
And just smack her in the forehead. If she continues, then you're in. No, bender. So this is what I like to
The
do.
naked guy. That's what it's called.
I like to look them deep in the eyes, right? And I like to go, we've been friends for a long time, but I just feel lately like things are a little different, and I don't know if you're interested in, going on to the next step or the next level or whatever. Come up with something good. And then when that girl, you have literally 1/2 a second to decide which way you're going, and she'll tell you by her face, because if she looks at you and goes, you punch her in the arm and you say, "You wish, bitch," and then you fucking move on. It's funny. You're out. You're still friends. You got your answer.
She
If
knows,
she
though.
goes like, hang in there. Hang tight. Let her give the answer. But if she winces at all, if she gives you the anything of "I'm not interested," any kind of pullback, any kind of whatever, you punch her in the arm and you say, "You wish you could have me, bitch," and then you just like go on with your day and move on. It's a great plan. It
And
works
then you
every
cry in the
time.
bathroom
Of course,
later.
of course. Later you're like, "Oh, jeez." It's a great plan.
It is a good plan.
I know. It's fucking.
I can't argue
the
it.
Stoltz book. Is that
Come on,
what-
I'm not on this show for no reason.
I'm gonna do that this week then
I
with
think-
my friend.
You should
Do it.
You
Well, you already
should.
know he's interested.
and I'll
You'll
report back
know.
how it goes.
I mean,
You'll
are
know.
you interested in him?
He's so hot.
Okay, but are you interested in
Here we
pursuing
go.
something
2
with him?
seconds ago, she was just like, "I'm not about
just
looks. It
how-
doesn't matter to me." She's gonna bang out her best friend
How long
because
have you
he's
been
a hottie.
friends? How long have you been friends with him?
So we've been online friends for a long time, and then I met him in person because I actually took care of his parents. So I seen him on his those like picture frames that have like the rotating. You
Yeah,
put
yeah.
his memory card in, and I was like, "Who's that?" As I'm saying it to
Yeah,
his
sure.
parents, and they're like, "Oh, that's our son. He's married with 4 kids." And I'm like, "But is he happily married?" And they're like, "They're like, Alyssa, stop." And I was like, "No, I'm not gonna stop. He's hot as fuck."
So is he married?
No, single.
Okay.
Very, very single.
So
Why'd
You
they
have
tell you he
kids.
was?
He has kids.
Why'd they
It
tell you
sounds
he
like
was
a perfect
married?
match.
What?
Because he
that?
was at the time.
Oh, okay.
He was at the
Yeah.
time. But after I broke up with my most recent boyfriend, he invited me out. I'm going to protect the story a little bit just because I don't want to I kept kind of like this night a little bit secret. But
Wait until he fucks up the date, and then you can talk
he
about it.
he's the guy that I run to whenever like I do have a bad date or something wrong going on. I run to him and I'm like, "Oh my God, let's get a beer. I have to tell you what happened."
right. So keep in mind, if you need that in your life and you do this and it goes wrong, I mean, don't get me wrong. Do the punch in the arm thing. You know what I mean? Like the punch in the arm thing is the best way
Well,
to
it's gonna
try
work.
and
He
get in
wants
there.
to get with her, so it's
true.
gonna work.
it is going to work, but keep in mind, you basically know it's going to work. You don't really have to. Okay, so you do the punch in the arm thing.
Yeah.
But if he takes the bait, and you guys hook up, your best friend's gone.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
don't have anyone.
Absolutely.
It will not work out. There's no going back.
But if you guys stay together, that's still your best friend.
Yeah.
You're right, and that's why I haven't.
So be careful. Just make sure you know what you want to do, because that is.
Don't listen to Red. Give this guy a shot.
Once you bang him out. I mean, I'm all for you banging him out. I'm just saying, just make sure you're aware that dude, he's not yours
I'm already
anymore.
at 10 months of celibacy. I'm going to see if I can make it to a year.
There you go. That's the thing. Say
Then you're
why
on
don't you
one
say that to
day,
him?
you're going
Why
on a
don't-
date with him.
Why don't you say, like, if he takes the bait, say, the only thing is I've told myself I'd be celibate for a year. Can you wait 2 months? And see what he says.
He'll wait.
Yeah.
He will.
Oh, he
He'll wait.
100% will wait.
2
Has
months?
he been?
That's
He
nothing.
dates in between all of this, right?
Yes, and he's actually one who is, he's much older than me.
Oh, perfect.
But he goes for the 20-year-olds usually.
Yeah.
Well,
see.
now he needs to start selling down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I
Well,
can't wait for the
Tune in
next
next week
episode.
for the exciting conclusion.
Oh my God, I'm blushing.
All right, guys, that has been Sorry No. We are not doing this show live, but our next few shows will be live. So
Ooh.
Bender's going to put some stuff down here. Ooh. Coke Zero sponsor us. Bender's going to put some stuff down here or maybe up here to tell you how to get a hold of us, how to see our shows. We're going to be on Instagram and, TikTok
Twitch.
and all the fun stuff. So thanks for tuning in. We will see you next time. And until then, be safe out there.
Absolutely.
Crazy. Not you.